So SAFE, Scaled Agile for Enterprise.
Yeah.
And as part of that, we did what you call PI planning, right? Your planning increment.
Yeah.
Our PIs kind of loosely corresponded with fiscal quarters, usually plus or minus a few days. But we'd have 4 PIs per fiscal year. And there was an entire run up and exercise in research and organization prior to our PI planning sessions, which involved in-depth discussions between product owners and team members and program owners and managers, and then as to what our team was being relied upon to deliver. So then all that was created. It was up to our product owner to sit there and create our roadmap for the PI. And as part of our PI planning session, which would usually be for some squads, it was multiple days. My squads, we could knock it out in a full day. Like we're starting at 9 a.m. and we're ending at 3 p.m. with a lunch break in there. And we would lay out our roadmap of saying, here's our top 3 objectives that we will be working towards during this planning increment. And this is based upon many, many discussions and interactions with our stakeholders. And so this is what we agree upon. This is what we're going to be delivering. So we'd have our PI objectives, our top 3, top 5, and we'd even have our stretch objectives saying it's like, hey, if we can really stretch it out, we will go even further. And then we would say, as part of that work, here are the epics in the team's Jira backlog that cover this scope of work. And then in those epics, we'd have sometimes all the stories as part of the epic, or maybe a subset of those stories. And we'd have a giant plan laid out that would be an extraction from Jira. We'd use a component of Jira called Jira Just Plans, and allows you to map out that work over the time. And so what we would do as part of this exercise is we say, here's our top objectives, here's our stretch objectives. As a subset of those, in order to deliver upon those objectives, here are the list of epics that we're going to be working upon. And as part of those epics, here are all the stories that satisfy that epic. And over the course of that planning increment, so usually it was about 12 weeks, we'd have 6 sprints. And we would have this giant map put out in front of everybody saying, here's what we're committing to for PI 2 or Q2, whatever. Here's the work by the sprint. And so that is what would be used as a benchmark and a report card on the team's ability to deliver. What did we agree to and commit to at the beginning of that increment or quarter? How we are trending upon the delivery of that work, and ultimately at the end of it, how we endeavored and ended up completing that work. Now, it's not just a snapshot that beginning of the quarter, end of the quarter, beginning of the PI, end of the PI. Every one of our sprint planning sessions, we would be revisiting our plan, the team's actual delivery plan for the quarter, for the PI. And then every one of our system demos where we'd have our stakeholders and we'd say, here's the work that we delivered. The team finished this work during this last sprint. And this is how it fits and rolls up into the higher level objectives that we have defined. So it's, again, back to, as cliche as it sounds, it comes back to communication. We are constantly communicating to not only internally to our team when we're doing our planning and we're discussing, it's like, hey, this work that we're pulling in the sprint, it needs to be brought in because it rolls up towards objective number 2 that we committed to. And, the following other teams are relying upon us to deliver. And that's why it's being pulled in now. And that's why it is high priority. And then so we do that during the sprint planning with the team, and during the demo, we do that again with our team and our stakeholders, letting them know that, hey, the work that the team just completed in this last sprint, while we're getting to put on the dog and pony show for you guys and being able to see you showcase what the team worked on. Here is the step. We're going to step back and look at the bigger picture, the proverbial 50,000 foot view on what value is that team, our dev team, delivering in this last sprint, and how it fits into the bigger picture. And so that way, if we've got senior level leadership, stakeholders, and program sponsors who want to know how the team is doing, rather than getting down into the weeds and being like, hey, they only delivered 50 points this sprint where they normally deliver 70, they can step back and look at the plan saying, hey, over the quarter, this is what we committed to delivering. How are they trending? what has moved, what is slipping. So it's that sort of that higher program level view almost that assists and giving the macro level trends that the team is following and how it translates into the overall delivery to what the team committed to and whether or not the stakeholder is going to get what they need at the end of the period.